Welcome back to the lounge. I am Ray True Life, and of course, as always, the bald head bastard is Yule Chevalier. Yeah.
Let me flip this around, dude. There we go. That's better, man. I had to flip the screen around a little bit. The bald head bastard on the other side there. There you go. What's up,
Man, nothing much. I'm chilling. What's going on with you?
man? I've been in a funky space this last couple of days.
Yeah.
I touch it when I get on to get it off the chest thing, but I've been in a weird space. I've been in a weird space, though.
Oh, you've been in a weird space.
I tell you what, before we get going too good, man. We got some people in here with us right now, man. Everybody that's joining us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome to the lounge of Ray Tree Life and myself, Chevalier. Hey, it's Juneteenth, right?
It
That's all
sure
I got.
is.
It's Juneteenth. So when I get it off my chest, I guess y'all know if you saw the thoughts of a classic man today, you know I got something to get off my chest with Juneteenth. So I'll do that. I'll do that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
having a
Yeah,
little
I'm looking.
technical difficulty over here. That's okay,
Yeah, having
sir.
some technical difficulties.
Let's get into this toast. I believe it's on you today, sir.
Yeah, I think it is. All right, cheers to a great show. Of course, it's Men's Mental Health Month, and so, toast to all of you that are joining us or that will join us in a few minutes. And we hope that, the things we talk about today bless and reach you and put you in a better space. Here's to y'all.
Yes. All right, man. So this is the segment you've been waiting on.
Get it off your chest.
Well, had to take a smoke before I put this one out there because I might piss a few people off. I don't know. You know my motto: better pissed off than pissed off.
Right.
But man, it's Juneteenth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
growing up in the North, although my parents were Southern, I was never taught anything about Juneteenth. Years after getting out of the Marine Corps and moving to Texas, I remember even being here not understanding what Juneteenth was. I didn't even know it was. I didn't know what teenth. I didn't understand Juneteenth. I did not being funny. I had no idea. Wanda, what's going on? And so the part I want to get off my chest, first of all, now that I know that it's June 19th, I thought it was June 13th. First of all, that was country in itself. But here's my thing. If you saw the thoughts of a classic man this morning, you know I expressed some views about Juneteenth. For me, okay, it's a great day to celebrate, I guess. I got a day off work. I could do some yard work and do some things around the house and still get paid for it.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it's sort of a slap in the face to our culture. Let me tell you why. First of all, I want to acknowledge Miss Opal Lee in Fort Worth, Texas, who was instrumental with her walk at 80 years old that brought awareness to Juneteenth. I have nothing but respect for Miss Lee and what she's done and what she's accomplished, which I thought was a great thing. And it made Juneteenth a national holiday. It was the jumping point to that. But for me, as a black man,
Mm-hmm.
growing up in America, I got to take issue with celebrating a day where the slaves found out 2 years later in Texas that they were free. For me, that's a slap in the face. Now, I'm not racist. I'm realist. I'm not a racist. You know this. I've got white friends. I love my friends, but I've had this conversation with them. The idea of us celebrating a holiday where we were basically disrespected just doesn't sit well in my spirit. I talked about this today. In America, Black people are often viewed negative. You know, our contributions are always, I'm gonna say, put to the side. You know, as long as we dancing and making music, or we the newest hashtag, that's what's popular. I feel like America wants our cool, they want our swag, they want our creativity. They just don't want us attached with it. And if there was any way that they could change that, they would. So I take some issue with Juneteenth, man. I take some issue with black people celebrating it the way they do and goody goody. It's just my opinion, but it really is a slap in the face. It really is, man. And when you look at today's society, man, with all the things that are happening, the erasing of black culture in America, it just goes back to, for me, that slap in the face. You know, it's just a big slap in the face, and it really bothers me. It really does. Do we get good food on Juneteenth? Of course we do. You know, is it a good time to be at home with your family and fellowship and be thankful for your blessings? Yeah, but you can get that on Thanksgiving. You can get that on pretty much any day that you decide to be at home. You know, I don't need a Juneteenth holiday. But like I said, some people may think I'm being overboard, but celebrating a holiday where black people were hoodwinked in a sense, you know, and led to they were free, but they were slaves for still slaves for 2 more years. Just don't sit there with me, man. That's all I got. I had to get it off my chest. If you want to see my very PC views, read Thoughts of a Classic Man for today, and you'll see exactly what I mean. But I just had to get that off my chest, man.
I, 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 I remember those sentiments. Man. I really do. It's weird. Man. It's weird. But before we move on, we got a special guest that want to say hi.
Felix wants to say hi to y'all, Chevalier. He's rolling cigars right now.
Are you with Felix? Are you with
Hang
Felix
on,
right
hang on,
now?
hang on.
Yo! What's up, my brother?
What's going on?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
All right, man. We down here in Texas, man. We're doing our weekly show, The Lounge. It's good to see you, man.
Doing my thing here. Doing my thing.
I see. I see. Hey, when can we get you down to Texas to do something? Look at that.
Yeah. We need you to come down to Texas and roll some cigars for us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See what we
I
do in
love it.
Harlem?
I see. I see. And you in Harlem, huh? I thought you was in Atlanta somewhere.
What'd you say?
I said I thought you were down in Atlanta somewhere
Yeah,
chilling. You up in Harlem?
this is at his Atlanta shop.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow, man. It's good to see you. It's
he's
good to
doing
see
live
you.
cigar rolling tonight.
Oh man. Hey, when can we get y'all to come to Dallas or Houston to do some live cigar rolling and we shoot an episode of the lounge, man?
Yeah, you should. He would do it. Here,
That'd be
Felix, tell him
nice,
that.
man.
Here,
That'd
hang
be
on, tell him
nice.
that. Felix, listen.
What
Hey
happened?
Felix. Hey
Yeah.
Felix, brother. It's good to see you again, man. When you come into Texas and roll some cigars, man, we can make a whole show out of it, bro.
Let me know. Let's make that happen.
Hey, I got
All
your phone
right.
number. I
All
got your
right.
number. I'm gonna call you,
So
man. It's
so
it's
look, we
great to
gonna
see
work
you,
on that.
man.
Just let me know. Let me know. I'll come down. I'll come
All
over.
right. Yeah, it'll be great
Said
to
I got a
have you,
couple of
man.
lounges that I can go visit and try to get some placements. But I come, we'll do an event to one of those lounges or whatever you want.
All right, man. It's good to see you. Hey, and if I didn't thank you before, thank you for all that wisdom you dropped on me at PCA, man, when we were
All
chilling
right,
at the
man.
lab. Hey, I appreciate you, man. It's good to
All
see
right,
you.
he got to talk to y'all.
Man, tell him thank you. And thank you. It's good to see you, sis.
Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. He just
All
wanted to say
right.
hi to me. That's all
All
he's
right.
doing.
Oh, Felix, man, he's a good dude, man. Ray, I got to spend some time with him uh, when we were at the lounge in Cuban Creations during PCA. It was me, him, it was her. We had the guys, the leadership and tributary cigars. Man, we had a big circle, man. And we were just sitting there smoking.
Uh-huh.
And, I felt like I was this little kid in the room, because I just come walking in. I just happened to come walking in. Wanda from Sticks and Stones was there. She wants to come in too, Ray, but Wanda
Yeah, I'm
was
sending
there.
the link right
And,
now.
man, you talk about had a good time, man. And Felix, man, dropped some word on me, man, some wisdom on me that I've not forgotten, man, that I'll never forget about how to move within the cigar community, man. And you know what? That's what the cigar culture is all about, man. It's like creating a memorable experience, sharing the wealth of information and wisdom, between each other over cigars, man. And we did that thing. We did that thing, man. We had a great time in there. We drank a lot of drinks. Felix bought all our drinks, man. He
Mm.
bought all our drinks. I went to pay my tabs. The girl was like, Felix already got you. I was like, oh. And so I believe well, I won't say that. I'm just gonna say, man, he is an amazing dude, and we definitely need to have him on the show, man.
Yeah,
We need to have him
we're
on
gonna
the
set
show.
that up where we have
Yeah,
him on. Well,
yeah.
we can be live rolling and we'll do a show. Maybe we could even have a studio audience where everybody can get some cigars.
No,
But
we can
we'll
do
talk
that.
about that.
Yeah,
But
we'll talk about that.
we got this comment, man, from Smoke Well, Drink Better. He said, like they repurpose our stuff, we have to repurpose this day and make opportunities for us to educate, empower, and make it a launching pad for greater days ahead.
I agree. Agreed. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. And you know, again, I don't want to like beat a dead horse, but man, for me, it's just a big slap in the face. And you get to a certain point in life where you see things clearly, and you
Yeah,
can no longer. I know me. I can no longer drop my head and just accept something because that's what the masses say we got to do. And I said masses, not masters or masses. I said the masses. You know what the public says we got to do. I don't go along to get along. And I feel like a lot of times in our community, and I'm
Oh
challenging my black
no.
not to do that.
what's
Hey,
happening?
what's up, sis?
How you doing, brothers? How you doing?
We
Man,
doing
we
My
good.
out
We
here
two
doing
still.
favorite
good.
brothers of the leaf out here. How you guys doing? Happy Juneteenth.
Happy
Happy Juneteenth
Juneteenth.
to you. Where you at? What swimming pool you sitting by?
The house pool.
That's what I'm talking. Everybody ain't able. I'm trying to get me one though. I'm working on it right now.
Listen, make sure you throw my invitation. I'm still waiting because I gotta try wifey's her
Oh, you want a bramble?
diabolical
You
The
want that
what?
punch
bramble?
she has over there.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
you got it. Them
there's a
brambles will
there's a
get you.
victim. There's a victim right over there. He's right there turning his cup up right now. He was a
No,
victim.
no, I didn't touch them brambles. I saw what
No,
it did
no.
to other people. I stuck right to my whiskey.
Listen, just have a little, just give me a little corner somewhere so I can just take a little nap.
Look, I got comfortable chairs all over the place for you back here. We're gonna get it popping, man. Hey,
Love it.
anytime you come to Dallas, all you gotta do is call me and say, "What's up, bro? I'm on the way." You got an open
100%.
invitation.
I surely will. I hope to be there soon enough. I hope to be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to y'all too, man. I haven't had a chance to get down to Houston like I usually do, but
Oh,
definitely it's coming. It's coming. So hey, thank you for jumping in, man. We talked about our topic. It's Men's Mental Health Month, and Ray came up with a good topic. So I want us to
he
get
did.
right into it. I don't waste no time. Come on, Ray, with the topic.
So June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we've been on this subject all month long. And we're not just gonna stop when June is over. We're gonna continue this conversation and continue going, because it's overlooked a lot. So one of the things we want to talk about today, well, the topic we want to start with today, because we pivot quite often, but we want to talk about the pressure to perform. Exploring the emotional cost of expectations placed on men to lead, provide, and endure. You know,
Can I just say something before you go on? I know the estrogen and the amongst the three of us here. I just want to I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the great, strong men that are out here just just doing their very best every day, waking up every day, deciding and making the choice to do their very best for themselves, for their family, for our community, for for the next future moving ahead. I just want to say thank you. I know you guys don't um receive enough of your flowers. And I just want to say how proud I am of all the wonderful men that I do know, all the men that have stood aside me, behind me, who have guided me. And I just want to say thank you. You know, I want to say thank you to you two, you know, for all that you contribute to the cigar culture. And I just want to make sure that you guys know how much, you know, you are appreciated. And, you know, if you haven't heard it today, you know, we appreciate you. There's a lot of us good women who appreciate men like you because there are many of you out here that don't get told that you're doing a good job. And I'm a mom. I'm a boy mom as well. You know, I have two young men, so I can understand how difficult it can be, especially a man of color, how to navigate through this world. You know, we have made stride and progress, but not enough. You know, not enough to where I believe that you men could wake up every day with the certainty of feeling, you know, that you're being seen. I just want you guys to know that I see you. We see you.
Thank you. Thank you,
So,
sis. That means a lot. I think that you know, just that you saying that means a lot, and I think a lot of men want to hear that. There's we're raised to believe, you know, let me say it this way. You know, our egos are formed very young and cultivated, you know, at a young age, and we're not taught compassion, vulnerability, you know, even acceptance, uh, you know, in some respects as it relates to constructive feedback or criticism. And so just to be told, you know, or to be acknowledged, especially, you know. So let me say that there was a time in my life when I would never say that. I just like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's a little different now. It's a little different now, you know,
yeah,
learning,
it's
you know,
growth.
about communication. It's
Yeah,
growth, you know,
it's
and
growth.
so we need to hear it. I ain't afraid to say I need to hear it sometime because sometimes, you know, in the course of my day, in the course of life, I hurt sometimes, and I don't always feel like I have a safe space to let it out. But
Yeah.
over these last couple of years, with us doing the lounge and some personal investment in myself via some counseling, you know, I've had an opportunity to get to Jeffrey, and so thank you
Hey,
for saying
hey,
what's going
handsome.
on, Jeff.
Thank you, thank you. What's happening, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? As soon as I come on, I hear you crying and stuff. You all right? You all
Couldn't
right?
hear him. Couldn't hear him.
You heard violins, man.
Yeah, I heard violins and everything, man. You all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I just had a moment, bro. I just had a
Yeah,
moment.
man.
You always having moments.
Slide like that, man. You can't do
Man, y'all
that
crazy.
around me, at least.
No, hell no, not around you. Hell no, I had to pull my pistol.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
there's a bunch of pistols. That's all that's gonna be.
We
But
still on. What's the topic tonight?
We're talking about
go
the
ahead.
pressure to perform. We talk right now. We're talking about exploring the emotional cost of expectations placed on men to lead, provide, and endure.
Okay. Okay, I'm in. I'm listening. I'm cutting right quick, but I'm listening right
Yeah,
now.
we can see you cutting.
We
Yeah.
see you
Yeah,
cutting. That man don't never stop working.
I
No,
can't hear him. I know he's dropping something, but I can't hear him.
He wasn't saying shit.
he ain't saying nothing, but he
He
cutting
ain't
in.
saying shit yet.
I ain't saying nothing. Not yet. Not yet. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen before I drop it.
So
Well, go
so
ahead, Ray. Let's go with that.
so the first part of it, you know, is having that safe place to do so, to understand the emotional cost that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, if the people in our lives don't understand the weight that we deal with, just from the pressure that we put on ourselves to perform as a man, right? To do all of the things that a man is supposed to do. The pressure that we put on ourselves, and then we have the pressure that society puts on us, and then we have the pressure that people in our lives put on us, right? What are some of the things that you do to navigate those pressures?
Well, as a man, through the years, when I was younger, I really didn't understand how to navigate through that, first of all. Um, so to give it some context in the words of Damon, when you're younger, when I was a younger man, I had all these predetermined expectations that I set forth, that things that I couldn't live up to, that uh, I wasn't prepared to do, that I wanted to do. I committed to things that I probably shouldn't have committed to, just thinking it's going to be all right. And then I felt all this anxiety because I couldn't do it. But my ego was telling me not to tell anybody. So I was wearing that pressure all the time, right? I was wearing it all the time. But as I got older, man, I started learning that, man, a lot of this is, a lack of understanding, a lack of, I lacked what it took to understand that I'm my own problem. I was my worst enemy, like I said. And so what I started doing, much later in life, man, is just doing what I can do and not worried about the rest. Say what I mean what I say. If I can do it, I do it. If I can't, I can't. But I'm not gonna beat myself up. And I started using some positive self-talk, bro. Like I started changing the way I talk to myself. I wasn't talking to myself with this ego saying, I can't let them see me fail. I can't let them see me this. I can't let them see that I don't have. I started saying things like, hey, they're gonna have to accept me for who I am right one day I'll get to a place where I can, things like that. I changed my own self language, man. And that came through some counseling and through some life experiences that I'd had. I think for us as men, everything that we go through when we're younger leads us to this place of wisdom. Some people get there faster than others. But for me, man, it was really just changing my self talk. I stopped putting so many expectations upon myself to do things that I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to do. I stopped saying, if I get lucky, I'll make this happen. I'm going to make it happen, even I don't know how. You know, I just had to change my self talk, man. So
Yeah.
that's how I did it for me.
Power of the tongue. The power of the tongue is really important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. What about you, Ray?
Bible say life and death are in the tongue. Man, I'll be honest, man. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of it. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things. And recently, in the last 2 months, maybe, I've learned that I don't have to put that pressure on myself. I don't have to be the man. I ain't got to be the biggest, the baddest, and it's okay if I need help. I don't know everything. I know a lot about a little.
Yeah.
And I know a little bit about a lot, but I don't know everything. So understanding that is one of the things that I've really started to grasp onto. Just understanding my role as a man and as a husband, and what God tells me I should be as a man and as a husband, and getting in alignment with that is what I'm focused on now. which has relieved so much pressure off. You know, you said it a couple of shows, a few shows ago, not a couple, a few shows ago. I ain't had nothing to get off my chest in quite a while.
That's true.
Because I'm like, things that used to bother me don't bother me anymore because I can't control it. So what's the point of worrying about it? You know what I'm saying? And why should I am told not to worry.
Faith.
Because by worrying, what does it say? Can you add an hour to your life by worrying? No. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough problems of itself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't worry about that. But it's something that I'm still working on, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better at not letting a lot of things get to me and growing, I guess.
I have a
So
question.
Wanda, you're
Go ahead.
raising men. I was going to ask you. So you've raised some young men. You know,
Yes.
I know one of your sons is a dad. Um,
No, none of
oh,
them are dads yet. Lord,
Got
no.
it.
No,
you got
no.
some grandkids somewhere.
You don't be knowing what he's talking about sometimes.
But
No, no.
it's okay. But
Hey, I be
he
getting
got
mixed up.
he got it right. He just got the wrong gender. My oldest, which is female, she's a
Okay.
mom. But yeah, my boys are not dads yet. They're
I knew there was some
uncles.
grandkids in there somewhere. Shit. I figured somebody rolled the dice. I just rolled the dice and see if one of the boys.
Yeah. They've clearly acknowledged that they're in no position in their life to father any children, and which that makes me really proud and happy, because I think that there's a level of self-awareness with their generation. They're 26 and 22, and they understand that it's difficult out here. And as young men, and we're Black and Puerto Rican, right? We're Afro Latinos. So at the end of the day, it's they're learning how to navigate through this world. And I think their self-awareness of understanding where is it that they want to be as men, the maturity level where they feel they are established enough what they could provide, everything that has been taught to them, the foundation, they want to be able to be in a place where they know that they can um, bring a child in onto this earth and be their best for them. So for that, I'm very proud of them for that. So you know what? They say it very clearly. We're still trying to, they're still trying to, they say it, I'm still trying to learn how to take care of myself. There's
Mhm.
no way that I'm bringing a kid in. And that makes me proud as a mom, because
Yeah.
they understand that, they understand the seriousness of it. It's just not laying down with a woman. They want to make a family, create a family with their wife.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they want to have, children with their wife. And for that, I feel very proud. This is their mindset, that they took on what was taught to them, and they still holding true to to that mindset. But yeah.
Most
I
definitely.
think when you think back, sis, about uh, raising your kids, when you look back at it, because obviously you've done a great job, because they do have that mindset
Thank
early on,
you.
that
Thank you.
wisdom to discern. First of all, to accept where they are right now in life and acknowledge it. That's big for somebody 22, 23. Shit,
Yeah,
somebody under 30,
for
somebody under
sure.
30.
For
You
sure.
know,
For sure. For sure.
society for them teaches them it's all about that prowess and having the nicest this and the nicest that. So it's great to see that there's some young men. Do you think that more of that, and this might sound like a strange question, but I asked for a reason. Did
Ask,
more of
ask
that
it.
come from you, or did it come from your husband, or was it a Was it a you guys
Well,
A
working
joint
together to
venture.
kind of set the tone?
well, for their father, which is my ex-husband, I did the primary raising of my kids.
Mhm.
Not to say he wasn't present, but I was the primary parent. I think that it just wasn't me alone. I know it wasn't me alone. I don't have to think. I know it wasn't me alone. I'm a woman, and I always made it very clear that as a woman, I can raise I could raise good human beings. I can raise good human beings, but I cannot raise my boy children to become men because I'm a woman. I could show them certain things to an extent, right? Because there's experiences that I can never have or I never had as a woman that a man would. So when my boys specifically were adolescents, I understood this. And I understood this because I was privileged enough to have, you know, male mentors and just chopping it up and talking to them. And when I came across certain, dilemmas that, I needed, to learn how to navigate through as a boy mom, I would pick their brain. So I understood my kids needed more than me, right? So I would set them up with mentors. They both were into sports. Um, I they had a few mentors, which were in the form of coaches. Family friends that I used to work with. When I was back on the police force, who I trusted dearly. So I always try to interject people that um had my boys' best interest at heart, and I understand they were good teachers for them at the moment of where they were at in their lives. Because I can only do so much as a mom. And there was times where they needed some, and now you guys know Hector. Hector's not Hector has come into the picture as their adult, but he's as well been there and given them advice and speak to them. And there's times where I'm like, babe, I don't know how to approach this. You know, what what is your insight? What is your feedback? Do you mind giving them a talk? And he's more than happy to say, yeah, no problem. Because it's that conversation that a man can have with another man that they may be more receptive to than it's just coming from mom, right? Mom could say the same exact thing. I could read all the right books, but it's not going to hit the same.
They don't have that
So,
experience behind it.
right, right, right. So I'm a firm believer that it does take a village.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
definitely.
it takes a village, and being the fact that us as a family, myself and my three children, we went through a lot. We certainly went through a lot. And I think my boys not having their father fully present as they had needed affected them on a certain level. So um you find yourself kind of, as a woman, as a mom, kind of trying to overcompensate for that. But then you realize that they don't need your overcompensation. What they need is positive male role models to help guide them through, certain situations in their life. So that, to answer your question, it just wasn't me. And also, just seeing certain trials and tribulations from their father, I think um, just observing that also taught them that there were certain things that they didn't want to do, or they wanted to move differently.
I get that. I get that, Jeff. So when you think about the topic, man, what does it mean to you? How do you deal with the pressures, bro, of life, and the pressure to perform and to maintain, man, and still be, true to yourself? How do you do that?
Um, can y'all hear me good?
That was
Yeah.
Teray, or that's Teray?
No, we talking to Jeff
To
now.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Okay, so for me, as I grew up, I started to understand that the life lessons or the obstacles in life. One of my favorite sayings and they've said it many times in the movie, was what don't kill you make you stronger. And so as I went through life, and I mean, I went through a number of things, and I had to understand that even if I fall, I just got to get up. I just got to get up, and that's what I did. I just got up. I mean, it's been many times that I've been homeless. I went to prison twice. I lost my pro football career. When I moved to Texas in 2008. I got here with $61 in my pocket. You know, and you just got to get up. You know, and I brought my son with me when I moved here. And I gave him $30 and I kept $31 for myself. And this is how we got to move, you know, but you got to, in my head, it's just the word go. I'm not a trier, I'm a doer. And what's up, bro? Which one? That one back there? Give me 1 second. Give me one second. Give me 1 second. It's that black one.
I'm gonna go to the jacuzzi. Wanna come?
But what I've always done is I put the word try out of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And I don't try to do anything. I just do it. I think about it. I make mental notes, you know, and I write it down sometimes. I do my research and I just go. So it's all about, you know, keep moving and keep pushing, because you can't. I'm not the dude to sit on the curve and think about what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna do something and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
You know, you have the ideas in your head that this is what you want to do in life, and you got whatever the ideas are. They will never remember that there was a commercial, about the peacock, and the peacock walked around, and it was just the idea, and nobody paid attention to the idea because it was a dirty old peacock. But when somebody paid attention to the peacock and saw that the idea was great, he became a big, beautiful peacock, and his feathers flourished, and he shined, and he was just a beautiful peacock. That's how I live. My ideas are what's in my head, and I move on it and I make it happen. Now, whether it's longevity, whether it sticks around for a couple of months or whatever, the point is I did it. Because what is it? Nothing beats a failure unless you try. Because if you don't take the shot, you're gonna miss it anyway.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah. So I just moved, Doc. I mean, when you just know what it is you got to do. When you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up, right?
Right.
So,
that's right.
Right.
So you look up and you start climbing.
Right.
Yeah. So and kudos to you, young lady. I can't see your name. The names are so small, but kudos to you for raising.
Thank you. It's
You know,
Wanda from Sticks and Stones.
Yeah.
How you doing, handsome?
Sticks and Stones. Okay, that's what it said. I can't see. It's so little on the screen, on my screen. But
He ain't got his no loud bifocals on.
He ain't got them good bifocals on.
He ain't got them good
bifocals on. But it's a hard thing raising kids in general. And I have 2 boys. My daughter is the oldest, and I understand. I'm kind of spoiled in a sense because I did have 2 parents, and my dad he's my best friend. He taught me it just by example. Just by example, you get up, get out, and do something. It don't matter what it is, long as it's not gonna send you to jail. Unfortunately, I went and I did those things that sent me to jail, but I was doing something. So I have to always be doing something. Just like you said, every time I see you, you're working, you know, but I got to always be doing something, man. I don't sit idle well.
Right.
But the mental part of it, is that I also understand who God made me. As a man, A lot of people take this scripture wrong, but in Psalms, it's David asked God, who is this man that you have given everything and made him rule over everything that you have created, and just beneath the angel and everything else under his feet. That means a lot. As a man, that means a lot. And men don't live by that.
That's because we don't. A lot of us don't know.
Yeah, a lot of us don't know.
Yeah.
But
Others don't know.
yeah, but God put everything else under my feet. So I move like that. I walk like that. I talk like that. I move mountains with my voice, with my thoughts, with my steps. I understand that every step I make, God gonna amplify it 10 times.
Yep.
So why stand still?
That's real talk, man.
One thing I heard you say, you removed the word try from your vocabulary.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Myron Golden say, if you say you're going to try something, you're already giving yourself an excuse to fail.
Yep.
So
another thing that I heard, he basically kind of talked about, like Jeff, you talked about, growing up with two parents, man, but your dad being your best friend. I think when we related to the topic of, how we deal with things and how do we deal with the pressure to perform, you had the roadmap laid out for you.
Yeah.
You had somebody that taught you how to think critically, even before you knew what critical thinking was.
Right.
You had somebody there to guide you and make sense out of things that might not have made sense to somebody that didn't have that early guidance. And I think that's important. When we talk about this topic, the pressure to perform and getting through that, man, you gotta always look back and say, how did they start off?
Yep.
You look at a guy like me and some of the things that I went through when I was younger. I didn't have anybody to really show me until I had somebody to show me.
Right.
For those formative years that they talk about, I had to try to figure that shit out on my own.
Right.
And I dealt with a lot of ego issues, trying to be more than what I was, that kind of thing, and not even realizing that's what I was doing.
Right.
So I definitely I heard that, man, and what you were saying. I got that word from, the relationship between your father. And let me say this, I want to acknowledge, I didn't have my father in my home, but my father was a part of my life. I had a couple uncles. I tell you guys about them all the time. That were instrumental. They set the foundation for me in a way that I still stand on their shoulders today. My automotive career and things like that. I don't have a college degree. I was able to fall back on that and work that into a whole career. And so um, I think it's important that we acknowledge that just because you don't have a man in the house, that doesn't mean, that you're not going to be successful. My mom was pivotal in a lot of things. There were
Right.
certain things she couldn't answer, but I had me in that could. But that
Right.
pressure to perform it definitely correlates with the upbringing and who's pouring into you. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Right. Fathers are important. I mean, let's not lighten, the load, and and not acknowledge how important having positive male role models in your life, um how important that is for men and for women growing up.
Yeah.
Fathers are 100% important, whether it's a great stepdad, your biological father, your grandfather, any man that decides to step in and play that parental role. It is very important for both male and females growing up, and we both need it. I didn't grow up with my father in the household, and when I became older and wiser, I realized how much, was missing. You don't know what you don't know, right? You can't
Right.
miss what you never had. But when you're faced with certain situations in life, you start to realize what you did miss and how vital and important it and necessary it was to have that. So it teaches women how to set a standard, how to set a goal and a momentum of whom they're going to choose as a partner, the kind of men they want to look for to build a life with. It sets that tempo and that standard, and it is so important. And for men, it I believe, as far as my boys go, and I can only talk on that experience, it was necessary for them to set a tone of how they're going to walk and navigate through this world, through the society, as young men of color, you know.
Right.
So it's one of those things where having a strong male role model in the household is very important, because I've come across men who've been raised just by women only, and you do lack something.
Yeah.
You do, there are things that you do lack, because there isn't the balance there of both masculine and feminine. A woman can be, a mom could do her very best. Like I said, I raised great human beings, but I didn't raise men. I raised great human beings. My boys learn how to become men by the men that I placed in their life, by them having their grandfather, by having their coaches, all these positive male role models. They taught them how every lesson they learned from them got them closer to learning how to become men to navigate through this society. So it is really important. And when people are out here saying, oh, we could do, you could have a baby, raise it on your own. Yeah, you can. You could do that. You
Do you
could
want
even
to?
afford to do that. But do you really want to? Because you're not giving your kid everything that they truly need.
That's true.
My
And
opinion. My
when you
opinion.
you're right about that. And when you look at the type of people and the type of foundation you want to set for them, so they can be well rounded and make critical thought, be a part of a critical thought process, be able to navigate through different situations. If they're missing any ingredient in that big old mixture of life shit,
Right.
they struggling a lot of times until they're not,
For
but
sure.
what are they going to experience in the struggle?
Yeah,
What's going to be the consequences from that lack of input that they need, on both sides. So,
for
you
sure.
know, Ray, we tackle a lot of stuff on this topic, man. Where are you? Because I know you had some things, man. There was
We
you had a
going down.
couple of
We
things
going
you
down
wanted
the
to
list.
share about it.
This is all
Yeah.
part of it, man. We going down the list. We gonna take a quick commercial break though. We'll be right back.
What's up, folks? This is Derek from Vic's world famous Chicken in the Cooler. These crabs. And I'm gonna shake. For the consistency, I was trying to
say bacon burger, dog, because the bacon ain't rich. Man, that is gonna be.
Not gonna do it. On here, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna tell jokes. Cause that's what barbecue is all about. If you ain't having fun cooking, having people try your food, looking for that enjoyment, laughter and smile on their face, that enjoyment every time they put your meat in their mouth, man, so many different ways. But I'm seriously.
Well, you're older than me. Hey, someone wants to say hi.
Who that?
What's going on, fellas?
What's
How you
going
doing,
on,
fellas?
Hector?
Yeah, listen. You see this? This is what connects us. This is what binds us. This is what keeps us together as a glue.
Yes,
But
sir.
I understand that the conversation that you guys are having, and forgive me for coming in late, but I 100% agree with basically everything that Wanda said, and I was eavesdropping because I was doing some other calls and doing some other things myself. But I 100% agree with everything the lady had to say about men being a very strong and positive influence in any person's life, regardless if it's blood or not. As long as they can guide them and direct them and just give them the proper information that they need so that they can be outstanding adults moving forward. That's all that we can ask. 100%.
Right.
So, again, gentlemen, I commend you all for having this great podcast to talk about this. This is something that we all need to be very aware of.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you, my brother.
Yes,
It's definitely good to see you. We appreciate
Yes,
you, man.
it's good to see all you guys, man. It's great to see all of you guys.
You still looking 25, man. You still looking 25.
You know what?
That's the power of the jacuzzi.
Baby. Tell them how old
We
you're
all
gonna be.
know it's just a number, but my number is coming up soon. It's going to be 66.
What?
66.
Man, I ain't never believed you when you tell me how
And
old you
you
are. I
and
still be
you
like,
look older.
heck the
You
line.
look older than you.
66. Who said that? Who said that?
He said,
You
no, they
look
look older than you. They look
Hey,
older than
hey,
you.
whoever said that? But let me tell you, it's all good. It's just being fortunate. I don't do anything different than what you cats do. I do the, it's just, I guess, you know what it might be? It might be the rice and beans and those pork chops.
They got to be.
That's about
That's
it.
probably what it is.
I don't,
They got
That's
to be.
probably what
explain
it is.
that.
Because you'll only eat chicken tenders and well done steaks.
That's true. That's true.
And you know what it is? You know what makes me look older? I'm sitting here having to chew on all the Ray's bullshit all the time. That's
Wow.
I gotta digest all this bullshit all the time. It's been bad for me. I remember when we started the Lounge, I had no gray hair right here. When Jim first started
That's
cutting me, I had no gray hair.
That's
And
because
then all of a sudden I started digesting Ray's bullshit. And here I am, gray head. I'm not even 60 yet.
Well, listen, man. Like I said, it's just a number. By the time you're my age, you'll be better.
Right.
We all like fine wine. We just get better and better. And you know what? You know the old cliche, right? What you know now compared to what you didn't know at 30 is something now.
Yeah.
I wish I can go back.
You hear that, Ray?
30 years ago, for what I know now. Whew, man, who knows?
Man, 30 years ago, I was Ray's age. I was Ray's age 30 years ago.
Wow, Ray. You hear that, Ray?
Raise the baby.
I hear him talking. But that's okay. That's
Wow,
okay.
I had just graduated from the 7th grade,
Vic School
and I
of
was
Chicken said,
wow.
Vic School of Chicken said if you eating well done steaks, that take 2 years off your life of chewing.
and pork can do the same thing to you too.
Yeah, Will.
Gotta watch that.
Hey,
I can't let that pepperoni go.
So Ray, what you got to look forward to is slipping off the rock and twisting your ankle.
Well, no, I don't climb on top of the truck and twerk.
He broke his
I don't climb on top of the truck and twerk. So
that was a while ago.
Yeah.
When
but that was
Chevalier
a
broke
freak
his leg.
accident.
No, it wasn't. It was a freak accident, all right. He was on the top of that truck twerking, and he slid off the truck. That's what it was. It was a freak.
Yo, Chef, you never told me that. You told me something different.
Man,
man, don't listen to Ray,
man.
The story
Don't listen to Ray, man. I know. I didn't tell it to you like that, but that's the story, Ray.
I remember what you told me.
Yeah,
you told me you was on a job, and for some reason you fell. And unfortunately, it was a young man there that you knew that helped you up.
I didn't know him, but he did help me up. I was picking up signs in my campaign.
Now Ray's telling me something different.
No.
Ray's telling me something different. He's twerking on top of a truck. I don't know what's
He said I was twerking on top of my new truck.
Hector, he had ran for school board, right? He ran for school board, and he was picking up his signs out the parking
Which is
lot of a
true.
church. He had his truck running, and the radio was playing. You know he liked music, and so the radio was playing, and Sexy Red came on, and he said, "Oh, that's my jam," and he jumped on the hood of the truck in his hard bottom Stacey Adams, and he started twerking,
Lord have
and he
mercy.
slid off and broke his leg.
Lord have mercy. Dev, I can't help you out with that one, brother. You got to take that one. You got to take that. You got to take that out.
And well, most of it was true except for the part of me slipping off the truck.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
JP,
what's going
on? Gentlemen, it's a pleasure talking to you guys. I'll let you get back to Wanda. Just want to say,
hey man, it's good to see you always, brother.
Man,
of course.
Just keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Thank you, man. Thanks for joining us, bro.
All right, brother.
What's up, JP? JP can't hear nothing.
He can't hear nothing that we saying.
He walking in the lounge like a superstar.
Wait, you can't hear us? Hey, we talking to you.
He can't
you
hear.
Can't hear us? You must got an iPhone.
I can't hear nobody though.
You must.
We can hear you.
Go out and come back. Did the sign language work?
His mic's probably off.
Yeah, he probably got his mic off.
But
he probably got it connected to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be still connected to
got that
car.
Bluetooth.
So, what are some things that you guys do to for your mental fitness?
That's a good question.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Mental fitness. Mental fitness is positive thinking. Mm-hmm. My mental fitness is all positive thinking, positive conversations, and just positive thinking. I don't like to have positive, negative conversations. I always try to find the positive in any negative thing that happens. Right. For instance, just a tidbit of history about me. When I lost my pro football career, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to play because I had reached that age limit that the NFL was really going to look at me again. Mm-hmm. The only thing I could come up with the positive was, well, when you was a kid, you said if you went to the NFL when you was done, you was gonna cut hair. If you didn't go to the NFL, you was gonna cut hair. So yeah. I went to the next thing.
Cutting hair.
Cutting hair. So and I had been cutting hair at that point. I had been cutting hair since I was 14. So it was already ingrained in me to be a barber, since I was a young kid. So that's what I started doing.
Since you was a young what? Oh, a young jit. Hold on. Since you was a young what?
A young jitterbug. A young jitterbug. A young jit, dog. Come on, Southern dudes. You gotta keep up.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I know what it means. You gotta remember, man, you talking to somebody that just came out of high school 8 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what a jitterbug is. That's a phone.
Your jokes don't make sense, sir.
That's the truth.
Just because you 113 years old don't mean nothing.
But it's all good. It's all good, Ray. You're a young jit. You're a young jit, dog. You ain't.
Yeah, you are, man. You are. You still got a little milk under your nose.
Chevalier sitting there talking like he knew what it was. He ain't know what that was.
You better tell him. You have Similac on your breath, Ray. Get him.
No idea what that was.
Well, you know what? Similac, they use Infamil now. You know that. He on that Infamil. He on that Infamil. That's sweet milk.
Yeah, baby. Sweet milk.
Well,
I don't know.
Chevalier knows what manna tastes like.
Oh,
he was in the wilderness.
Oh, shit.
He was in the wilderness. They freed him from Egypt while you sitting there talking. Shut up.
JP, can you hear us?
That's silly.
Can you hear us, brother?
I don't think so low. I think that iPhone is working right.
Hey, let me. I wonder if we put it in the chat.
Bluetooth hearing aid. but I can hear you guys.
Oh, he using the Bluetooth hearing aid.
Did you say you was using your hearing aid, JP?
Yeah, that's
He
what he
can't
said.
hear
He
me
said.
now.
Hearing aid.
That's what he said. We can hear everything around you.
We can hear you. That's crazy. Let's see if he can see the
I don't
comments.
know what he doing. Put it in the private chat. See if he can see it.
All right, I'm going in there now.
All right. Well, come on, answer the question. You put it in the Instagram.
All right.
Oh, you so
No, I'm putting it in the private chat now.
you so old because he on here. Why would you put it in Instagram?
Yeah, I know, but it's in the private chat now. I just put it.
All right, I can hear you through my speakerphone, but
Oh,
just
okay.
not in my earpiece. How
Oh,
you guys
okay. Well,
doing?
you can hear us. So that what's up? What's going
Yeah,
on?
we
Man?
can hear you fine. What's up, bro?
Not much. I am at a new lounge that just opened up. It's in Mission Viejo, South County in California.
Uh-huh.
And wanted to show you, walk around. This place is gorgeous and beautiful. It's like one of a kind right now in our area. So let me, now I got to figure out how to flip this camera over.
Just turn it around.
Just turn the whole thing around.
Yeah, just turn the whole camera
All right,
around.
might as well. All right. So let me show you the humidor. So pretty much, this is the walk-in humidor. They also sell beer and wine and cocktails. So it's a full bar. They carry pretty much your good stuff. Yeah. Fuentes. They got foundation stuff as well as that's why not a big collection of it, but they do carry quite a bit.
They got a nice looking humidor. That's a nice size humidor in there.
Right there.
Yeah. Really nice.
folks, I'm
They
gonna
got
hop
my
off right
father's
quick. I
stuff
gotta
over
take care
here.
of something. I'll be right back.
All right, Jeff.
They also get some good collections of other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Diamond Crown Jason Newman stuff. Olivas. Patrons. So, and then let me show you. Excuse me.
They got a real nice contemporary look in there with the glass and the doors.
And then this, yeah, it's super cool. Paneled up all the walls. This is the public lounge area.
Mm-hmm.
We got the game on right now. There's nobody in this area, but all the members, VIP members, are in the other room. How you doing, guys?
The right entrance?
What was that?
Is this the right entrance?
You see the chairs,
I
right?
have not seen it.
Oh,
I did.
Yeah, let's go check.
I did.
So you have to literally
JP,
walk
where'd you
outside.
say that was?
It's in Mission Viejo, California.
Mission Viejo, yeah, California. It's called Winston's Cigar Club.
That's nice.
And this is the non-smoking area, the whole bar.
Wow. Non-smoking.
I don't even want to see that side.
It does smell like smoke in here, though. And they even got the names of cigar brands embedded on top of the counter. It came out so
Look at that. It says Aganorsa. Wow. Tatooine. Wow.
That's nice.
yeah.
So yeah.
Somebody had a big budget. Somebody had a big budget, man.
It took a year to put this together, and this was supposed to be open last year, October. They had all the cigars already in an offsite humidor, and they were storing them. So all the cigars in here are pretty much been sitting for a year, they said.
Oh wow, they done aged up.
And then this is the VIP area. Go on, Carlos. So this is what the VIP section looks like.
Everybody thinks that over that. 45.
Oh wow, that is
Hey
huge,
Ben,
man.
I'm showing my friends the new lounge. What's that?
Zaya, right?
Zaya, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be in State Social House tonight
Oh, okay.
in Hollywood. We're supposed to go, but I mentioned it, but I gotta tell him to come down.
Talk about diet from
Yeah.
September.
You know, so and all the members' lockers are lined up around there. All the chairs. Yeah,
That's nice.
that's the member section.
Man, that's nice, bro. Hey, JP, next time you come home with us, man, you got to bring Zaya with you.
Yeah, it's sweet. I love this place. This is like my 6th time coming down here.
Uh-huh.
About to order me a cocktail and light up a cigar and watch the game. I'm gonna sit on the public area where it's quiet, so I gotta do some work on the phone. But yeah, it came out sweet.
That's nice.
Not too many people know about the place yet, except for the people locally over here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having events here and stuff. I got to talk to the owner about doing something. I was actually thinking about how Newport Cigar and Spirits is having their event on Saturday next week, and then Friday is the other one in Huntington Beach. So I'm thinking maybe Sunday everyone can come over here and have like a chill smoke day and check out the lounge. All the locals will probably come that are out in this area. If people are flying in for Cigar and Spirits, that would be a treat for them to check this spot out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's
oh
nice.
yeah, man. Hey, you gotta send me and Ray an invite, man. And they like I don't talk to you every day, bro. You gotta send me some send me an invite. I'm gonna come, bro. You have an event, I'm coming.
It's was it that weekend, the 28th, 27th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 29th. So I'll talk to the owner. He's not here right now. I didn't see him. So we'll find out if I could do like a chill event on Sunday here. Either we could take over the public lounge area where all the tan seats are, and or hang out over here in the main bar area.
That's nice, my man.
Well, I don't want to hang in the main bar area. You can't smoke over there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the non-smoking part of the cigar line.
Yeah, we want to go on the smoking side. We want to smoke on the smoking side.
What's that?
I said we want to smoke on the smoking side. We don't want to be on the non-smoking side. I can't come this weekend. I'm going to Chicago, but I gotta. Hey, we gotta plan something, man. It's been about a year since we spoke together, man, when we were in Vegas. So we gotta make it happen again, bro.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes, sir. But hey, man, you came in on the lounge, bro. And this is, on the lounge, we always have meaningful conversations over cigars. And it's Men's Mental Health Month, so you were our commercial. You came in and shared on the lounge in the middle of the Men's Mental Health podcast. But we appreciate it, man.
Hold on one second.
Do you have a number?
Yeah. 84. I think I have it.
It's easier if you just give me the last four of your phone.
4811.
October. And then did you want to start a tab or just close
No,
out?
just close it out. Take that one drink. It's really slow.
Let me do
So Chevalier, back to the question. What do you do for mental fitness, for your mental fitness?
For mental fitness, man, one of the things I've started doing is practicing silence, man. What I mean, not sort of like a form of meditation. I'll grab a cigar. I try to get into a relaxed atmosphere. I grab a cigar. You know this, right? I come out here on my back patio. I light up a cigar. I put on some jazz. I sit back and I relax, man. And I try to do that for about an hour or for a smoke. A good smoke, man, where I'm just out here relaxing. And it really, really helps me to clear my mind and get things in order. My goals. I start to think about, even on my social media, what message do I want to put out this week? What am I trying to achieve this week? With Chevalier Life, what's going on with the humidors? I pick something that gives me pleasure, and that does. And I just focus on that and I relax, man. I don't worry about what bills I gotta pay, or if I gotta clean up the yard because the dog shit all over the place. I don't have to do any of that. I just come out here and I relax, man. And this, I find my spot. You know, I have my spot out here, and
Yeah.
that's what I do, man. And that's what we have to learn how to find that place where we find it. You know, other things I do. I get in my truck, I push the sunroof back, man, and I might drive to Louisiana. I'll do something that gives me peace, man. Where I just have time to just focus on the 5 or 6 feet around, man. You know, I don't want to think about the daily obligations and things like that. You know, and a lot of times again, I light up a cigar, I grab some music and chill, man. It's really just that simple. But some people like to journal. Some people take a walk. You know, me, I find a quiet space, man. I look for some solitude to do exactly what I want to do the way I want to do, which is usually nothing. And I
Yeah.
relax. And that's how I exercise my mental, man. When I'm done with that, I find myself being a lot clearer at times. Yeah. JP,
Yeah,
what do you do to exercise your mental, man? How do you maintain mental stability as a man, dude? What do you do to do
this is it.
that? Yeah, I mean,
I'm
that's kind of
actually
what our topic is tonight.
I'm actually fasting today.
Hmm.
I gotta go to the doctors tomorrow. I'm getting an epidural done tomorrow on my back. I got some low back pain, so they're saying that's gonna be the fix. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be a temporary fix or a permanent fix.
Well,
He's had other
hey,
patients
I can tell you,
never come back
gonna be
after
there.
that shot.
Back pain is going to be there. It don't. They don't have no fix for back pain. They don't have no fix for back pain. I've tried for quite a while. Vic's Cooler Chicken, he said what he do to exercise his mental is put his meat in people's mouth.
Same.
He likes to cook. He cooks. He cooks.
He cooks.
Start,
He
start
cooks
a
his chicken
commercial.
in a coop.
He cooks. He say no did it. Man, for me, I do somewhat of the same thing, man. I'll grab a cigar, I'll sit in the garage, and there's no music playing, there's nothing going on. I might turn all the lights off except one light and just sit here and reflect and think.
Yeah.
Then the next thing that I do is I read.
You there?
Read.
We're going up there. Yeah, I also like to sit in the spa and smoke a stick, have a cocktail. That's another form of therapy for me.
Spot. I don't have no spot. I wish I did, but I don't have one of them. So
sit in the bathtub. Sit in the bathtub.
It ain't the same. I have to boil the water every 20 minutes. I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll read and then I'll pray, and whatever I'm worried about, I give it to God and let it go. And I just stop worrying about whatever it is. Because, like I said earlier, no matter how much I worry about something, it ain't gonna change. If I'm worried about how I'm gonna pay a bill, pray about it, give it to God, stop worrying about it. Because me sitting here worrying ain't gonna pay the bill. It ain't gonna help the bill get paid no faster. Or whatever it is. And there are some things that I have worried about recently. That I was really worried. Like my cigars. I was worried about trying to figure out how I was gonna get them here. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna worry about it. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. If I can get them, I can get them. If I can't, I can't. Worrying ain't gonna change. So that's one of the things that I do is just to let go of worry all the time. And I'll sit in silence, cut the lights off in the garage, put on one light, and I just sit here with a cigar and let all the worry go. Because it don't matter if I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, is this being broadcasted on Instagram too?
Yeah, it's on
Instagram,
Instagram, Facebook,
and
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that. I've never heard of this StreamYard.com. I never heard of them before.
Yeah, they just Instagram maybe a year ago they opened it where you could stream, you could use external
Remember
software.
the four squares of the screens, you know?
Yeah.
You guys don't use that anymore? That's part
No,
of
we
the
don't use
Instagram?
Instagram Live no more. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we're live on Instagram, but we don't use we don't just hit live on Instagram because
Now, when I do conversations with Chevalier, I still use it. I go live and have one guest on. But when we do this on StreamYard, we're able to bring in multiple guests. Ray can run commercials. We can do a lot of different things with Stream. It gives us a lot of versatility to do a
I was
lot of
just
different
about to
things.
say one of the things that I really like that I can do is this.
You got them both.
Right, yeah.
And I will make that focus stop for you know. It gave me 2 feet. I can't smoke in the house, but I can smoke in the evening.
The fabric bow ties, the wooden bow ties.
He was I want to say
This stuff down. Because if you don't
Yeah, you know, get to run commercials every so often.
Right.
Yeah, that's not
I'm just
something
sitting
that
here watching the game.
it's not something that you see very often on our Instagram. Vic's Cooler Chicken say, "I'll tell you what's pissing me off on IG is all of the lives that I used to see about cigars. I hardly see anymore." Well, that's because they don't like the live used to be the first thing when you looked up there in front of the stories, and now it's all the way down the list. You got to go search for stuff, but also they hate on cigars. So
They're also removing lives after 30 days. So every time you do a live, if you do a live and you want to keep it, you need to find, a downloader that you can pull that live off of there and then, put it on your YouTube or whatever. When I'm doing lives like Monday, I got conversations with Chevalier. After I'm done with conversations with Chevalier, I'll download it and move it over to my YouTube. Because now, in an effort to save room, Meta is taking all the lives off after 30 days. They'll leave it on for 30 days and then they delete it.
Well, even if you post it?
Yeah, even if you post it. They'll leave it on there for 30 days and then they'll automatically delete it. They say they need that to save room, I guess, for posting.
Whatever. Whatever.
But we talk about it all the time. For me, Instagram Live works well for me doing my one-on-one show, and I can put it on YouTube afterwards, and it's cool. I get a little traction on Instagram when I do the show, so it works. Eventually, I may move over to StreamYard and start doing it that way, but I'm comfortable with Instagram Live, so I'm gonna stick with it for a little while longer.
Yeah,
we're able to get a lot done that way. Maduro Melly, what's going on, Melly? Melly just jumped in the building with us, bro.
What's going on, Melly?
Yeah, I can't see any of the comments or anything like that because I'm using the app.
I gotta pull the comments over. I have to go to Instagram and pull them over.
If you're watching from the It's the Lounge page on Instagram, you can see them all.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the vibe is coming up next. You queued up?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready. I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready.
Well, that's a lot of times you don't be ready. So
I'm ready today.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You show.
Let's go.
I gotta find the link. Shut up.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So, hey, man, this is that time of the show, JP, when we come to the vibe. It's the time when we play a little music, we relight our cigars, we pour our drinks, and we kick back and relax. Today's vibe track is an old school hit by the Isley Brothers called Harvest for the World. I picked this one because it's Juneteenth, and I'm feeling some kind of way about it. You know, like I said on the Thoughts of a Classic Man, I'm not feeling Juneteenth all that much. You know, the basis of the holiday for me is a slap in the face. But then I'm radical like that sometimes. But this is the vibe with Chevalier and Rachel Life on the lounge. Kick back, relax, relight your cigars, and listen to the Isley Brothers.
Big D. Let's see, I can't.
I say he clear his mental health by yelling at my weeder. Why don't you work?
Oh my God.
Oh, Daniel.
That guy's hilarious. He's had that wiener problem for a while now.
Hey, man. Keep them wiener problems to yourself.
Keep those wiener problems to yourself. So, you know, the vibe is our place, man, where we just relax for a minute. We get away from the topic, smoke our cigars, and chill to a little smooth music. Ray, this song came out probably 10 years before you were born.
And you were already 50 when it was out. So.
49.
I don't know if you know JP, but Chevalier is as old as dirt.
I can't barely hear you with the music going on. It's pretty loud. There you go.
Oh. I'll say it again after the vibe.
I almost had a cigar rock star moment. I started to get up and start walking across the camera and shit. But I don't have any lace on today, so I decided against it.
Daniel, I'm about to start putting your comments in the box, man.
Put them in the box. As a matter of fact, put them in the box. That's that Wyoming.
Awesome. Thank you much. I'm good. You got my cocktail. I'm good.
Hey, hey, cheers. That's a toast. Cheers, brother. Yeah. And I tell y'all what, that was the vibe with Ray and Chevalier on the lounge. Remember, we do this every week at 8:30. We launch the vibe. So if you got something you want to hear, let us know. Back to the topic, Raymond.
All right, Ulysses. So,
what's up?
Here's a question for you guys. Does providing ever come at the cost of your peace?
JP, what you think about that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Does providing ever come at the cost of your peace?
I'm having a hard time hearing you, bro. What was that, Ray?
Does providing ever come at the cost of your peace?
Does what?
Does providing ever come at the cost of your peace of mind?
Does providing ever interfere with my peace of mind, you're saying?
Yes. Yeah, does it come? Yeah, does the idea as a man having to provide come at the cost of your peace of mind? Do you worry about it?
No. I pretty much do my own thing.
That's a big money answer right there.
I have a lot of extra time on my hands after work, pretty much.
Mhm.
But tonight, I actually got to go up to visit my girl at the hospital. She's kind of recovering. She had I guess, a cyst on the side of her neck. So they're running some tests on her again right now. I'm gonna go head up over there in a little bit and hang out with her.
Tell her I said, what's up, man? I'm praying for her. Hope she feels better. Tell her I said hello.
I will.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Yeah,
She's
but
a super.
yeah, she got this. She got this, man. We do this show, man, and we just talk about tonight's issues are more about the things that we deal with as men. How we navigate through different nuances of manhood and how we kind of reconcile these things in our mind, keep our stress level low. That's kind of what we talk about tonight. And at different times we have different conversations about different stuff. Some of them are about cigars, but all of our conversations are over cigars. I realize this is your first time jumping in the lounge with us. Sometimes we're talking about cigar culture versus community, what it looks like, what are the differences, and how does it come together. We talk about a lot of different stuff on the lounge, man. It's always a different conversation over cigars every
I
time we
see.
get together.
I see. Yeah, it's hard to catch you on live over here every now and then. I just happened to get off a little bit earlier, and I wanted to come down over here and show you this lounge that you were on live. I saw you there earlier. Well, you got to check this place out. But yeah, I got to talk to the owner. It should be pretty fun if it happens.
You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen, my brother.
Like Jeff
I
said,
said,
just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just go. Just do it. Just
I'm
work
gonna
it.
try. I'm gonna try. Because there's that other event that's on Friday night that they calling it the Newport Smoke Show. It's actually in Huntington Beach, an adjacent city to Newport Beach, basically. I've never been to the spot where they're at, so I don't know anything really about it. All I know is that with the $60 admission, you get 6 different cigars, and all the brands are, I believe, Hiram Solomon, El Tempimo are 2 of them that I know of. The other ones I do not remember. But if you go on to the Instagram page for Johnny, and I already posted on my stories earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to see it, catch it over there, and then there should be a link to buy a ticket if you're coming into town. That's a great start for the weekend. Friday night over there, then Saturday the Indulge event, which is, they're saying it's sold out, but I believe you can get last minute tickets, but they're pretty hefty price. They have 2 different versions, a general admission and a VIP ticket, and you get to experience all kinds of different spirits. Try out different things you are interested in getting it, but you weren't sure about it. They'll have food, and I believe about 30 different cigar vendors will be there. I'm basing it off of last year's event. It was jam-packed. It was shoulder to shoulder pretty much. I expect the same this event. However, I still don't have a ticket yet.
Yeah, we won't be able to make that one. But when you put an event together down the road a little bit, come back and let us know what's up, man. And I'll try to make it. Yeah, I'll make it. Tag me in it, make me a collaborator, and I'll share it, and I'll try to come out and support.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm
What's the
gonna be
next
in the
event out there in that area in Texas?
We just had Houston Cigar Week. I know you guys weren't coming. What we got next, Ray? I don't think we have anything for a while coming up
What
here.
about in Charlotte? Is that event coming up?
I don't know if he's going to do it. If he is, it's probably going to be next April. If he does it, it's probably going to be next April. We'll be there filming the lounge live there if he does it. And I'm thinking about putting something together sometime in the middle, in between. Then I'll be at the Rose City Cigar and Soul Festival, July 10th through the 13th in Portland, Oregon. They've got that. So you and
Oregon?
Roxy are free. Yep, it's in
Yeah.
Portland.
Hold on, she's
So
calling me now right now. Hang on 1 second.
So
Raven?
I'm looking at Instagram, man. And these
I
comments.
know, I'm looking at it too. And I see you know what, man, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. I might have to shift gears a little bit on this one. So, cigars and love talk, Daniel. I see see y'all comments going. Wow, wow. They got some. So if you, I don't know if you guys can see our comments over here. They're going kind of nuts. It's like taking me completely out of where we are. And we got cigars and love talk and Daniel from 505 Cigars Review. And I'm just gonna start it. Daniel says, "I don't hate women."
Well,
And
you got the
cigars and love talk.
now it's just a lot of, I think, a lot of
What?
I don't even know. But you know what? Here's the question, man.
Go there, bro. Let's go there.
Here's
Let's go
the
there.
question.
We got about 40 minutes left. Let's go there.
No, I don't want to get in there.
I say let's go there because
I'm gonna let them argue in the comments, man. I'm gonna let them argue in the comments.
Okay. We touched some of it in our comments today on our thread for the promotion of the show about men's mental health.
We're gonna get back into what we talking about, man.
Okay, man, I be want to set the record straight on some shit.
Nah, we gonna get back into what we talking about. So
go ahead, man.
I lost my place.
I know you did. I know you did, man. And again,
Okay, I found it. So why do men struggle with just being instead of doing? Like why do we a lot of us fall into, well, it is what it is, whatever, instead of, as Jeff said, and as my wife said earlier, keep going, keep pushing.
You know what I think, man? I think it's a couple of things. It's not just one thing. A lot of men, man, especially when they get into relationships, long-term relationships, they're looking for validation from their significant other. It could be that sometimes they don't feel they get it. That's one reason, and it can cause them to kind of shut down. Some of it may come long before that, not knowing how. Again, like we talked about earlier, and you and I have talked about in different conversations that we have, they don't know how to navigate anything, so they just shut down. They don't know how to deal with when the adversity comes, man, and they gotta use that positive self-talk. Those things don't come to mind. It becomes a woe is me type situation sometimes for them, or they go all the way a complete 180 the other way, and they start trying to do anything and everything, and they start making critical mistakes that a lot of times end up landing them in jail or losing a spouse, or they go from one extreme to the other. They don't know how to sit down and stop, let things settle down, take a look at it, and then work their way through it. They don't know how to do that. So a lot of times, see, the comments got you going. A lot of times they get lost in that, man, and we have to help them to do that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Look. So the lounge is a safe place. I'm gonna do it. You ain't got to do it. I'm gonna do it. The lounge is a safe place for everybody to come and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Sometimes it goes exactly the way we want it to. Sometimes it doesn't. We don't really give a damn. If me and Ray are the only two people out here watching it or doing it, we cool with that. As long as we get the message out that we want to get out. Tonight, as I look at the comments, it's kind of getting hijacked, and there's a lot of
Here we go. Nope. Mute. So I think that
Doing that. You gotta stop doing that, man. We can't just let people hijack our shit like that.
they ain't hijacked the show. They ain't hijacked nothing, man.
I'll be ready to tell them.
I don't want to go down that road because it.
Well, you know what? Let me answer the question. Let me put my third point on the question. Let's keep going. A lot of times, a lot of men shut down because they don't want to deal with ignorant criticism that comes from them expressing themselves.
Yeah.
They don't, man, and I don't like to do it either. Now, some men will speak out on it, some men won't. I'm one that will. I don't mind dropping an F-bomb or something like that, you know, because what I got to go through and reconcile in my mind is what I got to reconcile in my mind.
Right.
A person can either respect that or not respect it. But I think we have to get to a point, you know, in our lives when we have people like that around us, we have to realize it's time to change your circle. No person, whether you're a man or a woman, can be successful with constant negativity coming into their ear. It's hard to focus.
Yeah.
And so you have to change or remove yourself from situations that don't feed into what you're trying to do for yourself. You have some people that are very well off and they can buy their way around it. You have some people that don't have a lot of money, but they persevere because in their mind they have the ability to remain focused on what they're trying to do. And you have others, man, that go back and forth because they're looking for some form of validation, you know, and that's a scary thing, man. And you know, we just have to, as for me as a man, man, I try to stay in the middle. When I get tired of shit, you know, then I'll eliminate my distractions. I usually like to eliminate them by telling them how I'm feeling before I let them go. You know, I like to give them that fuck you moment. But that's not always constructive. But for me, it makes me feel good. You know, eliminating distractions makes me feel good. And I've had to learn how to do that because at some point earlier on, even in my cigar cultural experience, I've tried to be a people pleaser. And when you're a people pleaser, you find yourself moving from the left to the right. You're never standing firm on anything because you want everybody to be happy around you, no matter what their views are.
You can't make everybody happy.
Right. So as we related to the topic, man, you know, sometimes you just have to take a firm stand and say what's got to be said and then move on. And if it's not accepted, then it's just not accepted. That's how I deal with it now. I do what I'm going to do. Sometimes I don't say anything because silence is golden, and I just do what I'm doing. I roll right over the opposition.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell them. They'll feel it when they feel my foot on the edge as I'm stepping over them.
Exactly.
You know, you have to do that. You have to do that. Pretty Wild Puffin, what's up, sis? Brother Oscuro said it best. Just please yourself. When you're struggling with those types of things mentally, sometimes you got to go back and focus on number one and just please yourself. Silence the noise and just do what you want to do for you. Whether it makes sense to anybody else, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
I have a bad habit of playing host every freaking time. I want to make sure all my crew is all happy and everything. I'm always providing the liquor and sometimes cigars for people. Whenever they come over and chill with us, we do a little bourbon tasting as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great time. Got the music on the background, just chilling.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think for me, you know.
But generally, I'm always quiet. Keep to myself. Don't really start any drama or anything like that. Don't need the drama.
Yeah. Hey, you. Daniel said his daughter waved at you and said hi.
Yeah, I'm commenting back.
Yeah, even though last weekend I was pretty much the only guy in our group who was surrounded by a bunch of female smokers at the lounge last week.
That's you always.
I was pretty much their photographer, videographer.
That's how I be when I go somewhere with Chevalier. I turned into the here, take this picture guy. I'm like, all right.
not
All right,
true. That's
all
not
right.
true.
Because don't
That's not
nobody
true.
know me. They just know Chevalier. But man, I think that we we have to understand, man, that we have to keep going. You gotta keep going. You can't become stagnant because if you stagnant, if you're not moving forward, you're taking up space.
Right.
You're blocking somebody else from moving. Just move over. Move. If you're not trying to move forward, then what's the point, man? Move over. We all need to move forward. You can't be none of us are the same person that we were 5 years ago.
Okay.
You always have to continue to move forward and continue to be better than you were yesterday. And I think that when we get stuck sitting still in one spot, it's because we're scared of, well, what if it works?
That's because we spend a lot of time judging ourselves, right?
Yeah, and
We
we spend a
judge
lot of
ourselves
time
instead of
saying,
moving
well, what if
forward.
it don't work? What if it don't work? But what if it does work? Just do what you got to just move on, keep going. As has been said multiple times, keep going.
I agree with that.
Brothers of Skill Road. Yes, that's exactly what he does. When we anywhere together, I become the cameraman because don't nobody know who I am. They be like, excuse me, sir, can you take this picture? And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then Chevalier goes, oh, that's right. He do the lounge with me. And they go, okay. But anyway, Chevalier. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, well, whatever. It don't matter.
That's not true, man. Y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all know the truth that's not true. Raymond just said stuff like that. I think he's been
Everybody
drinking.
knows that's the truth. Everybody knows that's the truth.
I had to clear my throat on that. I'm gonna call bullshit. I gotta cough out bullshit on that. That is not true because that's not true. That's not true. But man, like we said, man, as we stay on topic, it's just that as men, man, we have to find ways to silence the noise in our mind and continue to move forward. And it's something that I think has been placed on us. They always talk about stuff like generational curses. It's like one of those things that's been placed on us as men. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic. It doesn't matter what cultural background you have. As men, man, we're taught from a very young age to move kind of in our egos, man. We're not taught to deal with certain situations that come our way. We're trying to keep up that certain prowess. We want to show that we're in control, and we have to be able to accept the fact that at times in life we're just not in control. We got to accept that, let it go, and move on forward. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Hey, brother Ciro, don't believe that, man. That's not true.
Oh, no, it's all true. It's all true. But go ahead, continue. Don't try to stop.
Yeah, like right now, all this adversity I'm facing with people saying I think I'm a star. I have no fucking star. If I was a star, I would be going to work every day. I go to work every day.
Sir, you got recognized outside the country.
Huh?
Did you not get recognized outside of the country?
Oh, you talking about that little thing on the Sea of Cortez? That wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't a little thing. You was on a yacht, and you was out there on that yacht, and that man said, "Hey, I know you. You should value it."
I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
I know it's happened to you. I know it happens to you all the time.
It's weird. It's like you feel like a celebrity for a moment, Like
I did.
Chevalier is a celebrity.
Then I asked them, who are you and what's your handle? I check, and sure enough, they are.
Man, I don't need no
feeling.
I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere at any time, and people who follow me and like everything I post, and they walk past me and push me out the way and say, "Watch out, fat man," and go right to Chevalier. And I'll be standing there, and I'll be like,
I gotta call bullshit. That does not happen. That has not happened. That is not true. I've seen many times where I'm left standing there. When we were at PCA this year and we was at NOLA Cigar Fest, I was I was at the Mayan with Ray. I was
Oh, you
standing
about
there
to
like
lie.
his little sidekick.
You about
I
to
was
lie.
standing there like I was his sidekick. I standing like I was his sidekick. The only person I saw I knew was the same people we knew. Well, with the exception of a
Man,
couple.
it was so many people that walked right past me. And they walk right to you and say, "This is a nice event. This is a nice event, Chevalier."
That did not happen. That did not happen. Like it was. Oh, so you're implying that they were saying it was my event?
I mean, I'm not
Be right
implying
back.
nothing. I'm not implying nothing. I'm just saying.
Man, come on, man.
I'm
Tell
just
people
saying
that.
it's
Hey,
happened
look.
it's happened so many times and that people just walk right past me and I become a photographer. But all that don't matter, man.
It don't matter. Because
Why
at the
do
end of the day, no matter what we doing, you already know it's me and Ray. It's me and Ray True Life. It's Chevalier Life and Ray True Life in this thing
yeah,
together all the time.
you say that, but you say that, but don't nobody never hear that.
They be hearing it, bro. That's you.
You'd be like, "That's Ray. He do the lounge with me." And they say, "Oh, hey Ray, can you take this picture of me and Chevalier?"
You mean Chevalier?
Chevalier.
Chevalier.
That's what they'll call it,
Chevalier.
Chevalier.
Chevalier. No,
Oh
that ain't
man,
true.
man,
You got to stop telling people that.
I ain't gonna stop
Run
telling you
another
nothing.
commercial, man. I
We're
got to
gonna
get
take
my
a
mind.
commercial break. We'll be right back.
Everybody.
For the cigar connoisseur who demands excellence, welcome to ChevalierLife.com. Elevate your collection with premium, high-end personalized humidors, crafted for those who appreciate true luxury. Explore a world of elite cigar accessories, cutters, lighters, and cases. Designed for style and precision, and complete your look with premium cigar-inspired apparel, because every aficionado deserves to dress the part. Luxury, craftsmanship, legacy, ChevalierLife.com, where sophistication meets the smoke. Shop now. Live the lifestyle. The Chevalier lifestyle.
That's the true star over here, buddy.
What? Oh yeah,
That's the real star.
yeah.
You see
Yeah.
what he doing? He came out here and sat up in front of the camera. That's the
Chilling.
only star.
He
That's the only star over here, bro.
He know it's almost the end of the show. That's why
He
he got
knows, man. AJP, he comes out at the end of the show and he'll just sit here in the camera. Every week he comes out here. I don't make him do it. My wife will let him out. He's chomping at the bit to get out here about 8:45, and then he comes out here and he sits right here in the camera every time. He don't miss because he's waiting.
He's waiting on you to throw that frisbee.
He's waiting on me to throw the frisbee.
So throw it and shut up. That's what he said.
I just threw it.
So man, before we get to X's and glasses, man, why do you feel men ghost their own emotions?
Because they're afraid of them. Most of us are afraid that if we let our emotions fly, if we let people see that we have feelings about certain things, that we're gonna be looked at as weak. And I don't know a man out here that wants to be seen as weak. You can't be, because when you're seen as weak, people are gonna try you in some way, form of fashion, and so we don't want to be tried. We don't want that to happen to us. So we decide to stay away from that, and it's all rooted in fear. And it doesn't matter the situation, whether it's in our relationships with our wives and whatever, or our or even on the job. With our as parents, if we show too much emotion, we always feel like that's a sign of weakness. Y'all tell me if y'all agree.
I do agree. What about you, JP?
About what?
Why do you feel that men ghost their emotions?
Emotions about what kind of emotions?
All emotions.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What?
Why do you feel that men ghost their emotions?
Everything. There's always a reason for something. I recently got divorced 3-4 years ago, and going through this weird vibe. Finally got out of it, and I'm living my best life now.
So it's a way of kind of escaping. I guess what you're saying, you ghost them because you don't want to have to face anything. You just want to move on and forget about the
pretty
bad time.
pretty much move on, and I've done that already, and I've pretty much adjusted. I'm just like trying to find the next thing to do. Want to? Everyone keeps on telling me, open a lounge, open a lounge. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to open a lounge. I don't want to be tied to something like that. Rather find some sort of extra passive income other than my stocks, you know.
Right.
Just living life right now, you know. Don't have any bad issues right now. I'm good. I'm at a great point in my life.
I mean, I think that's a reason because you just want to avoid all of the stuff that comes with being shit. You know, sometimes you just want to exist without expectation. That's what I hear you saying. You would want to
Yeah.
exist without expectation. You know, you want to be able to do what you want to do when you want to be able to do it. That's a good reason.
Depends on like what Steve said. It depends on the emotions, you know. Right now, I just want to finish off the day, relax, chill, have another cigar afterwards.
That's all you can do.
Right. I know that's right. I think we like you said, we ghost them for fear of looking weak. Because we weren't taught that understanding them. We weren't taught how to understand them and how to express them. So we hold them in, and then they manifest as anger. You know, so I think we have to help each other to understand that it's okay to not be okay at times. It's okay to release those things that you're feeling, because the longer that you hold on to them, you know, the worse it'll get.
That's true.
I'm at the point where I just want to travel. I don't want to work anymore. So I'm trying to find an exit.
Well, I'm there too. I don't want to work no more too. I don't want to
Trying to
work
find
no
some
more
more
either.
passive income and just live life, relax.
I
Do my
feel the
thing.
same way, man. I feel the same way, man. I let a lot of stuff get by me because I don't even want to put the energy into it. I'm afraid of how I'm going to respond to it. So I try not to even put that energy into a lot of different things. I don't want to have to. I'm at that age now, man, where I've dealt with all these different emotions and the different scenarios that took me to certain places. I just want to live my life, man. And you know, I always talk about we got as men, as people in general, we got 4 seasons of life: the spring, the summer, then we have the fall or autumn, and then we have the winter, which is that last, 15 to 20 years of life, man. And when you've been through those other seasons and you've had all those highs and lows emotionally, for me, I just don't want to deal with it. And maybe that's a way of escapism for me, but I just don't want to deal with it, man. I just want to live my life doing what the fuck I want to do. I hate to say it like that, but I just want to do what I want to do and enjoy myself in everything I do, whether I'm working or not. I just want to be able to live my life based on my own terms, man. and that's what gives me peace. Me living on somebody else's terms don't give me peace. It gives
Right.
me anxiety. It
Yeah.
gives me anxiety. And so, like to answer your question, Ray, for me, when you live on your own terms, man, that's a form of peace. And it's the ultimate form of peace for me at this stage in my life. Like you say, JP, you want to live off your stocks because for years you invested. You come out of a divorce. I've been there. I'm on my second marriage, which I wish I would have did first. But learning all of the things, the lessons that I've learned from that, the one biggest lesson I've
Yeah,
learned.
I got
Yeah.
married early. I was 25 when I put a ring on it.
Wow. Wow.
And was married for 24 years and 11 months to the day.
Wow. So you went
It's
through
like
all those different.
what's the name? Eddie Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli. They were married for 25 years. They got divorced.
Yeah.
Nothing forever. So
people
all I
grow
do
and
is
they
enjoy the moment.
evolve, man. Yeah, they evolve. You evolve, and sometimes when you grow, a part of that evolution, you change. And sometimes what was perfect at one time in your life may not work anymore. And you got to have that strength to say, hey, I want to move on and live the rest of my limited amount of time doing what I want to do or how I want to do. Doesn't mean that I want to go out and have crazy sex with strange women. Doesn't mean that I want to do it. All it means is I just need that peace of mind. And I got to be able to justify in my mind what works for me at this stage in my life. Anything else is insanity, and it brings about anxiety.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. We've had some great comments, man, to come up. My wife says, yes, you came in this world alone, you're going to leave it alone. You can only live your life because you have no control over anything else but you.
That's true. Brother Oscuro said life is the best learning tool.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And that's true. That's true, man. Like, and I think that the fear for most people, not just men, the fear is being strong enough to say, I gotta change. I gotta make this change. That's the biggest thing. Once you can reconcile that and accept the fact that change is scary, until you do that in whatever stage of life you're in, man, you find yourself stuck. But for me, once I realized, man, that I could do things the way I want to do them because I'm married to a person that understands that, you know, I feel freedom now at this stage in life. And the only regret that I have is that I didn't find this when I was, say, not being funny, Ray, but not when, if I didn't find this when I was, say, your age. When I was your age, Ray, I was a people pleaser at the worst level,
And that
one
was
thing that
40
I
years
admire,
ago.
yeah, basically. And one of the things I admire about you, at your age, man, you have a certain thing about you where you just try to do right, and the way it comes, it may not always come across good, but for those of us that know and love you, we understand where you at. And
And
and I
that's
think when you
definitely
have a
true.
circle like that, that goes back to the circle. The people that are in your circle, man, your tribe. If you got people around you, man, that don't hear you, they hear you, but they ain't listening. That makes life difficult, man, because you find yourself frustrated when you're trying to communicate with them, and you can tell them 2 + 2 is 4, and these motherfuckers coming up with 6 every time. It's very frustrating, and so to me, I just believe you remove that, so you got that peace of mind, so you can deal with all the other things that you got to go through, the different stages as you get close to life ending,
Yeah.
because it ends for us all. That's look that death is one appointment we ain't ever gonna be late for. When that's
You're
our
right.
time, we gonna be right on time, and so you have to look at that mentally, man, in your everyday. People are afraid to talk about that, but in my everyday, the things that I'm faced with, I've gotten to a point where I say it's time for me to do things I want to do. When I wanted a truck, I bought a truck. I'm gonna buy me a Corvette. It may not mean much to most people, but for me, that's the freedom to do and live and do the things that I want to do because I fucking work hard for it.
You
And
gonna
that and
you
that's
gonna buy
at
you
the end of the day, that's all this is.
you gonna buy you a
Uh,
Corvette and be stuck in it. You too tall for that.
shit, but it's hey, I'm stuck in my shit though. It's mine. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna have to eat
It's
dinner.
mine.
You gonna have to eat
It's
dinner
mine.
in that thing.
Yeah, you know, hey, I get, hey, every now and then I feel like I'm stuck in that other one in the garage. And I tell you what, you know, I was in there today, and every time I get in that thing, I tell my wife, hey, you driving. You got this. I don't ever drive that thing, you know. It's just, but and it's not, you know, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying that like I've worked hard, man. You know, I'm gonna be 58 years old in a couple of weeks, July 4th.
Dang.
And look,
Yeah.
I've worked hard. I got a high school diploma. I served in the Marine Corps. I've, I've I've had to raise kids, man, and I wasn't with them, so I've had to make sacrifices that I needed to make to be in my kids' life at a young age. I sacrificed a lot of things, and I've made a lot of money. But at the end of the day, when I look back on life, and for me mentally, I have to say I've done. It wasn't always pleasurable, but I did things the way I needed to do it at the time, and now I have the freedom to do things the way I want to do it instead of the way I need to do it, and that gives me a whole lot of damn peace. Bro. They give me a lot of peace, man, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, bro.
Yeah, man, that's exactly what it's all about. Finding that peace and holding on to
Mm-hmm.
it. And you know, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Ashes and Glasses.
Everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Chevalier. Look, I've been away for a while, but I'm back now. You wait, well, hey, I drink it two together, man, so I see how you do it. And we do that on Conversations with Chevalier.
I gotta take off. You guys have a good night.
And a husband,
Cheers.
all of the things that my father, you know, he would also barbecue.
So I worked with him. I was his lead teacher.
I know in the lounge you always groove and you all over the place. What's your favorite music?
And it was like, well, this is looking different. This is looking promising.
We're playing right now for real. What about to tell you what's going on? Again, this has been Conversations with Chevalier. Thank you guys for joining us.
I still didn't go back and fix the names in that. I gotta. Excuse me. Bless. I gotta go back and fix them names in that. I keep saying I'm gonna do it. I keep forgetting. Hey, it's time for Ashes and Glasses. Put your toast in the comments.
Man, look, I gotta say, this is the weirdest show that we've ever done. I enjoy them all because we'll laugh about this later. JP didn't really know what we do, but he's an intelligent
He kept
brother.
talking about other stuff in the middle of the question.
But you know what?
All about men's mental health. Yeah, you know, they tell me to open the lounge. Man, what?
But I saw where he was going with that, man. Like, you know,
glad you did.
I saw where he was going with it, man. Like, he's trying to figure out what I heard from that is, man, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to land, man. You know, and that's I felt that. You know, when you get to be a person of a certain age, man, it ain't about accomplishing no more. It's about how you plan to land the plane, bro. You know, shit, man. It's just so much that we go through as men in the different stages of our lives, man. And you, again, man, I give my hats off to you because at your age, and I'm not being funny in saying it, at your age, Ray, I wish I had some of the wisdom and the determination that you have to be the best version of yourself. Man, in my 30s, I didn't give a fuck about that. Like, I was too busy running pillar to post. You know, I was too busy trying to overcome and just get past my next trial. You know, I didn't. I never learned at a young age, man. That look, I got to lay a foundation. You know, and now I have a clear understanding of that. But it goes back to my tribe. You, Kia McLean the poet, my wife, my sister, you know, and different people that we deal with. Juicy from Shop She Smokes, Jeff, you know, from Astute Gentleman. We all have a tribe. Even Dewey, from his show. We all have a tribe, man. We all have people that pour into us, and you always say this. You've been saying it for years about the ecosystem that we built. No matter what madness we go through, we have a system where if me and you ain't seeing eye to eye, we have somebody in our lives that knows both of us that says, "Hey, you got to look at what Ray is saying." Or my Keisha may look at you and say, your brother crazy, but he's got a point. We have those people in our lives that keep us grounded, and I
Yeah,
think that's why we're able to do things the way we do them together now because of that. And knowing that is more than half the battle. It's the fucking battle.
most definitely.
It's the battle. It's the battle.
Yeah. So
I hope y'all had fun in them damn comments.
we was trying to give
I hope
y'all
y'all
some
had fun
time
in the
to put some,
comments.
put some
That's
toast
what
in
I
the
got.
comments. Oh, they had fun in the comments. They had fun in the comments, man. They was
You know,
man. It's
I
time for
saw
ashes
terms
and
like
glasses.
White Knight. I don't know what that's about.
I ain't even
I
going
don't
back
know.
and look. It's time for ashes and glasses. This is the way that we like to end the show. It's only two of us now, but both of us are gonna give a toast. Toast ain't got to be.
Yeah, we got toast in the comments. Though.
Toast can be whatever you want the toast to be. If you got a toast, put your toast in the comments, and we'll definitely bring them to screen and read them. So we got Brother Skiro says, "I raise my glass to you, brothers, and we appreciate you for what you do." He also said, "Thank you
Cheers.
for a safe place." Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you for your support.
Most definitely. 505, Daniel says, "I raise my glass to the woman who doesn't like
Know me.
me."
That's
Oh, know me. To the
thank
woman who doesn't know me, that's concerned with my life, that we should be concerned with mine.
she the one that should be concerned with minding her own business. Cheers.
Cheers.
What we got next?
I'm gonna go
There was
next.
a good one. Go ahead.
Cheers to finding your peace. Cheers to finding your peace.
Cheers.
Your turn.
I'm gonna raise a toast, not only to
Wait,
all the people.
wait.
What?
We got another toast. Before we
Put it
get
in
it, we got another toast. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. United Visionary
Women.
Women says, "I raise my glass to peace and love." Cheers.
Cheers.
Come on with it.
I raise my glass.
Wait.
You gonna do it again?
We got another one.
Okay, come on with it.
I'm bringing
Put
it.
it in the comments.
Cigars and Love Talk says, "I raise my glass to men who operate in love."
Cheers. We love that.
All right, come on.
You sure?
I ain't seen nothing else pop up. Come on. If I do, I'll just stop. But come on.
Just stop it. I raise my glass to everybody that takes the time out to join us in the lounge. I toast you for giving us your time, your most precious asset. I thank you and salute you for being willing to say the things that some won't agree with and being willing to hear the things that you may not understand. I toast to you, my brother, for your friendship and your brotherhood. I love you. And I toast our wives for putting up with us as we do the things we need to do to have this show and to do the things we do within the cigar community. And here's a toast finally to everyone that supports us, whether they're here or not. We're thinking about you, we appreciate you, and we love you. A shout out to Damon from Charlotte Cigar Week for being one of the foundations of what we've been trying to do, and to Mac, the cigar advocate, who's not here with us, and to our brother Mount Olympus that's out there working. And lastly, to my brother, Mr. 505 Cigars, Daniel Ravanelli, for being one of the best men that I've ever met. Much love to you all. Cheers.
Cheers. We got one more.
I drank all my beer.
I just saw it. Toast your stuff.
That's all right. I'm gonna toast my cigar.
Fitzgerald Gaston, the cigar boss, says, "Glasses up, glasses down, two motherfuckers spinning round and round. Drink up, niggas."
Cheers, Fitzgerald Gaston. Cheers.
Cheers. United Visionary Women. We are in Texas. Mule is in
Where?
Dallas. Chevalier is in Dallas. I am in Houston.
Yes.
Welcome to the lounge. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Let me assure you, United Visionary Women, that we've never had a show quite like this one. This is a show that we just haven't had. And
we haven't had somebody on screen who was not a part of the show as much as JP wasn't a part of
it. But those of y'all that don't know him,
I didn't have the heart to kick him out because he it's like he was trying sometimes. He was trying sometimes.
But you know what? He can barely hear us. You know, that guy has been very supportive of Chevalier Life from the start. He's a great dude.
He's
and the lounge. He is. He's a part of the whole El Septimo regime with Zaya and Cigar Love Affair. That's Cigar Love Affair's husband.
Hey, BX Nice Cigar Lover. Yes, he does need some earbuds.
He does need some earbuds. It was probably loud in the lounge, you know.
No, he couldn't hear. He just couldn't hear.
He just couldn't hear.
Brother Obscuro said our show went off the rails like his lives do. Yeah, this time it went off a little bit. It went off.
Yeah, it went off the rails. You know, we got terms like white knight thrown around, and we got all kind of shit going on out there. But you know what? I'm glad Ray stopped me from saying what I was probably gonna say. But I would have said it in love. I'll just say it like that. I would have said it in love. There ain't no anger. You know, Daniel will tell you JP is a great dude. And much love to Roxy getting better. Shout out to let me do one. Shout out to Cigar Love Affair. You guys know her Cigar Love Affair. Her name is Roxy. She's in the hospital. So we praying for you, sis. We hope you feel better. Look forward to seeing some more of those amazing videos that you and the crew out there on the West Coast put out. And thank you for all that you do in the cigar culture and community. Cheers. Oh, and to my dog Chopper.
Cheers to Chopper.
Cheers to Chopper. That's all I got. Cheers, man. Look, we talking about you, man.
Cheers.
Look at the camera, man. They like throw the frisbee, man.
You don't care nothing about that cigar.
You see, I almost caught it like right there. But say, man, this has been the lounge, bro. It's been a new experience. 20 minutes after 9, I'm going to bed. I'm getting up and go to work at 2.
This has been one for the books.
One for the books. We're gonna look back on this and laugh at it one day, but just not today.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.